Right, troops. We might just have it. Let me know if you can hear me. All that good stuff. And we'll get straight into it. This has been a bloody pain in the arse to get set up, but I think it's all squared away now. So yeah. Troops, if you're viewing this now and you can see it, everything, hear me, all that good stuff, just drop a comment and then I'm just going to get straight into it. Straight into it. Good. Right. I think we're good. Dad, if you're watching, text me. Let me know if it's all right. So this is what happens after you have a couple of failed attempts to get amongst it. You get loads of people not wanting to view it again. We had hundreds waiting before. See and hear me. Right, I'm just going to take it as that it's working fine. All right, so let's just get straight into it. But before we do, please smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. You need to subscribe to comment anyway. And if you want to support the channel or highlight a question or something and you want to get it to my attention, Super Chat's the best way to do that, guys. So, yeah, a little bit about what we're going to be doing then. So this is the map. You've already seen it now. I'm going to be doing these updates back on a daily basis again, just like what we did with the Ukraine war. And the reason we're going to be doing that is I've found a much better way to do the updates on this. I'm not going to go into detail of how or what I'm doing, but putting a bit more work in on the maps and stuff like that, allowing me to understand the situation a bit better. I'm a type of learner where I have to be able to input the data, input the information, and do a bit of research so I can kind of understand what's going on a little bit better. Whereas before I was using certain map systems and just literally clicking on the buttons, all right, and it wasn't as good. Certainly not as good for me to keep up to date on it, but this is going to be a lot better for me. Welcome to the channel, troops. 50 viewers in chat. Please smash the like button. Smash the like button. Let's get the likes right up and we'll get straight into it. So this is the map that I use. And you can see the points that I've annotated. I'm going to be continually upgrading this and annotating it. The reason I've got these countries specifically, Egypt, Jordan, and Lebanon, is because the neighbouring countries to the conflict, and in some way, shape or form, they're probably going to be getting involved. We've certainly seen Lebanon and Syria. Okay, there's a lot of news coming out, but we're going to get into that today, guys. But this is the map. For those of you that don't really know the areas in detail, the red to the west here, as we zoom in, Gaza Strip. All right, really good map. I'll be turning these off throughout the stream just so we can see a little bit detail. But we zoom into these areas. The reason I use this map specifically is because it allows me to have a lot more control of what we're talking about with regard to situational awareness and tactical awareness, stuff like that. I can give you a bit more details. So for instance, if there's an attack on this area here, we can see a little bit more in detail what's going on, as opposed to the other maps. You couldn't really see that. You had a couple of road systems and stuff, but I might be able to add a bit of information on the ground, so to speak, based on what I'm seeing via this aerial view. Okay. But anyway, this map is a lot better in my eyes. It gives allows me to be able to give a better understanding to the situation for you guys anyway. So let's get all of these off the map. Right, how do I do this bit? Right, delete. I want to delete this bit as well. Don't need that. Delete that. Right, happy days. So loads and loads of stuff going on, troops, today. Really excited actually to show you the information that we've got and how we portray it on this map system. As you can see, there's unbelievable amount of information we've got already with each individual point. I'm not going to annotate these individual things with different labels just yet. I'm going to see how this first stream goes with regards to that, and then I'm going to annotate them with different logos so you can understand, just without reading the information, what probably is. But we're going to go straight into it anyway. So first point of the day, Israeli troops enter Gaza. Now, we are a day or so behind this, guys, but just bear with, okay? There's loads of points, but this is up to date as of the 29th, today, from about an hour or so ago. So it's as updated as we could possibly get. This information is coming in literally from 000200 hours of today.
This morning's top story. Breaking overnight, Israel's military forces expanded its ground activities in Gaza as it prepares for a full-scale ground invasion. Israel released new video activity of its armored vehicles in Gaza. It also intensified air raids and artillery strikes in the northern Gaza Strip.
Right, so intensifying the artillery strikes and airstrikes, just as their troops are literally moving in on the ground thick and fast, is done for, one simple reason, effectively. It's to soften up the targets, and by targets I mean areas of operation where they're going in. There's massive coordinated attack. We understand that there's been specialist soldiers arriving via the shores, the Israeli commandos and stuff like that. So artillery barrages and airstrikes happening before that. There'll be specified targets taking out key individual people, Hamas leaders, as well as trying to massively disrupt the areas where they're wanting to raid with the infantry troops. Okay, what this does is it doesn't just soften up the targets. What it does is it allows them a safer passage through certain areas that might be enemy strongholds, for instance, with enemy positions in place. So yeah, by softening up the targets, what I mean is it's taking out individuals in key coordinated attacks, but it's also taking out, in some cases, large numbers of troops who are operating within certain areas, allowing the safe passage or safer passage for Israeli troops to enter into certain areas. So that's what I mean when I say that.
The Israeli Defense Force warned civilians who are still there to go south, where it is much safer. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, Israel's relentless bombardment has killed more than 7,300 people in Gaza. It comes 3 weeks after Hamas militants stormed southern Israel and killed more than 1,400 people, according to Israel's health ministry. Hamas is also holding some 229 people hostage. 10 U.S. citizens remain unaccounted for.
Right, so just have a look at those stats there, troops. So over 7,300 plus have been killed in Gaza, as per this video, which was released today. Over 1,400 killed in Israel. 229 hostages held in Gaza, 10 of which US citizens, and they're unaccounted for. That's why we see the United States getting increasingly involved in this. We've seen that there's been repercussions with Iran, Syria getting involved. The Americans have already striked certain key positions there, taking out weapon storage facilities, key infrastructure, just to let them know that, hey, we're here. If you mess with us, you're gonna suffer the consequences of that. Okay, so this is intensifying day by day. It's intensifying in a way which, if you think about when Ukraine started, it intensified pretty quick with regards to the Russian invasion and Ukraine fighting each other, all this footage coming out, but it didn't intensify in a way where we saw America getting directly involved. It intensified in a way where we saw that indirect support, okay, weaponry, munitions, money, and not just money as well, technical support as well with the soldiers on the ground, giving their kit and equipment to be able to let them understand what and how to use that kit and equipment effectively on the ground. So it's intensifying in a different way, allowing for the Americans to get basically involved in a very real way, I think, as opposed to just supporting them financially, which I don't know what to think of that. It's scary to think that, America could be involved in, another Middle Eastern conflict, and this Middle East it could be bigger than something we've ever seen, especially in the past 100 years. 29
people hostage, 10 U.S. citizens remain unaccounted for. Rami Inocencio leads us off in southern Israel near the border with Gaza. Rami, good morning.
Michelle, yes, we are less than 1 mile away from the border, and Israel's assault continues with tanks and troops on the ground. You might be hearing explosions near us. That is Israeli outgoing artillery. We're also hearing warplanes above us, and Israel's defense forces have now said that they've killed both Hamas's heads of its army, of its navy and its air force.
That's big.
Fireballs lit up northern Gaza's blacked out skyline. Their blasts rolling past seconds later. Israel's defense forces said fighter jets struck 150 targets underground, including Hamas's maze of hundreds of miles of tunnels, while columns of Israeli tanks rolled into the strip.
Wow.
Israel cut power and cell phone signals in Gaza last night to disrupt Hamas communications.
Another body, all civilians.
Our CBS News producer, Marwan Al-Ghul, has been reporting from inside Gaza.
This invasion makes more death and more victims. Everybody knows that this area is high population, maybe the most high population in all over the world.
The cut to communications further isolated the more than 2 million Palestinian civilians living and now dying there. The shattering of families in the past 3 weeks, sparing.
This is the bit that's heartbreaking for me, guys, and that's why I read out the original statistics earlier with regards to how many people have been killed in Palestine that we know of. Over 7,000, I believe it is, potentially a lot more with these airstrikes. You just don't know how many people is accurately in that building, okay? We're talking about proportionality. Is it proportionate? I've said from the very start, I don't think it is proportionate. I think the ground invasion, it's a difficult one. I don't think many people know the answer. We can say that Israel shouldn't be attacking with a full frontal ground invasion, taking out innocent civilians along the way just to take out Hamas. But some say they should, okay? Now, what I will say on this is I think there's better ways to take out these leaders, all right? But what they're doing is they're throwing everything at Gaza right now. And whether you like it or not, a lot of innocents are dying on both sides, predominantly from Palestine, though. That's the problem I have.
No one, regardless of age. The UN Secretary General says this is an unprecedented avalanche of human suffering. The World Health
terrible.
Organization and Doctors Without Borders say all their staff are unreachable. Israel is starting its payback, said an advisor to the Prime Minister, for the October 7th massacre of more than 1,400 Israeli citizens by Hamas.
Yeah, and we need to remember, obviously, this was all instigated and started by Hamas in the first place, so it's the innocents that always suffer. Kyle, thank you for your super chat. Sorry, I'll try and get to the super chats a little bit earlier next time. You said, if a regional war breaks out and the United States joins the fight, will any European country support Israel and the United States? Well, we just have to look at what has already happened, okay? We've seen Rishi Sunak over there pledging the support to Israel, and that comes with the nature of the United States and us and the relationship that we have, okay? I think if United States gets involved, then it's probably likely that we will, in some way, shape or form, supporting of the United States. I know that in the very early days, the Royal Fleet Auxiliary sent 2 ships out, one of which was RFA Limes Bay, I think it was. Although I thought Limes Bay was decommissioned, it was definitely a Royal Fleet Auxiliary boat that I'd been on in the past when I was in the Marines in 2014, I think, or something. I was on that boat. So yeah, the support for the United States will be there, irrespective if they get involved, that's for sure. And that's just the way it's going to be, I reckon. But thanks for your super chat, buddy. I appreciate that.
More than 200 hostages taken that day are still being held. Many believed
Smash the
to
like,
have been
troops. Let's get
spirited
100
underground.
likes.
How does that complicate the invasion?
Of course, it complicates the invasion. We don't want to hurt them.
Amir Ulo is an Israel Defense Force reserve colonel.
I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. And I'm not telling you that we are not going to face losses. We will. But when it's time to war, we know how to fight. And we will do it and we will prevail.
And the families of those hundreds of hostages have now issued a statement saying that they are angry at Israel's war cabinet because they did not talk to them before these operations expanded. Their fear, of course, is that their loved ones across the border will not come out alive. Dana.
Right, so that's there. That happened literally after midnight. Barak Ravid to CNN. Thousands of Israeli troops have entered Gaza from the north in the past hour or two. So that is, we're looking at like what? Well, in about 4 or 5 hours, nearly 24 hours ago. So about 20 hours, guys, has passed since that. Next troop, violent clashes. Zoom in a bit. Now, these violent clashes north of Beit Lahia. So that is settlement, I believe. No, there's the center of Beit Lahia. And as you can see, these areas, guys, albeit some of the fields and rural and stuff like that, it's right next to that 1950s armistice agreement line. So in terms of these violent clashes, I'm not sure where the soldiers from the Israeli forces came from, but I do know that a day or two ago, the equivalent of the Navy SEALs, the Israel commandos of some sort, certainly have a water capacity, okay, like the Marines, or capability, sorry. They stormed certain beachheads south of Gaza down here. And they took out key individuals en route as well. It's a little bit more densely populated along the coastline here. But to these guys, you know, they're specialists within their field. It would have been quite easy to secure a certain portion or part of this beachhead, move into some areas of cover. It, I believe, will have been done at night based on what commandos do. And, you know, the nature of business makes it easier to move at night anyway, especially when doing these types of operations. But as you can see here, there's a lot of sparsely populated areas, and they just look like little beach huts and some houses. Some of them are residential. Doesn't look like there's a lot of industry around here. Maybe some solar panels and stuff there. Not sure what this is near Al Rashid Road. But it's just a coastal road, so that'll have been quite easy for them to get in secure. North of this, though, in the areas that we're actually talking about, to the very northern point, it is quite rural. All right, a lot of fields and stuff there. And we have got that armistice agreement line, which is a wall, effectively, I believe. So a number of ways they could have came in there via helicopters, potentially, climbed over the walls, or via the... quite literally via the sea, but there's been clashes at this point. Israeli bombing campaign happened here, or in and around this area. If we zoom in, the rural part of this is effectively trees in what looks to be a neighborhood. As you can see, there's just normal houses here. Road systems, all the houses look pretty similar. We've got a mosque there. We've got a government office close by. So potentially some areas where people are working, but certainly quite a few homes and developments in around this area. So just average Joes living there. But this Israeli bombing campaign happened at about 10 past midnight. Palestinian news agency, deaths and injuries in Israel bombing on several areas in the Gaza Strip. So let's have a look at this source of information. I think it's via Twitter or X. It's in Arabic, so we can't see that. Machine gun fire in this area. So let's zoom out a bit where we're at here. Okay, so near the Nuzirat camp. Machine gun fire, 10 past midnight. The Israeli army, an exchange of machine gun fire east of Barej refugee camp in the Gaza Strip. We've seen the refugee camps actually been targeted over the past week or so. We've seen quite a few clashes at various refugee camps in and around these areas. But if we look at the area in detail again, guys, the road systems here don't look to be, in fact, that's a river of some sort, I believe. Road systems seem to be similar to what we've seen, a little bit underdeveloped, maybe. Farmland, possibly. Housing developments look at probably a little bit less developed. Maybe it's a slightly poorer area, given the nature that it is very close to a refugee camp, so the area in detail is changing slightly. But you know, we move inland slightly, a little bit more. We've got supermarkets, a little bit more developed homes. We've got a secondary school right next to this place, cafes, you name it. Artillery shelling occurred in and around this region here, similar layout to what was before, and that happened at about 3 in the morning. Artillery shelling east of Deir al-Balah. So these areas, guys, as you can see already, we're painting a picture. These artillery strikes, these violent clashes, the bombing campaigns are happening not just in specific areas, but all over the Gaza Strip now, which tells me just how big this whole ground operation is going to be, or currently is, all right, based on just this. What they're doing is it's sparse across the whole land. They're dropping artillery shells everywhere. So this is a massive coordinated attack. I think we've got a bit of footage potentially with this one. No, just a post by News Press, artillery shelling eastwards. The only problem with these sources, sometimes they don't have... Right, so in the States, DC, C. Martin, thank you for your super chat. You're saying, do you think Hezbollah and others in the region will attack if Israel ground offensive takes too long? I don't think it matters if the ground offensive takes too long. It's the... you've got to look at the skill set and appreciate the capability of the Israeli military. Holistically speaking, they are a really, really good military. You just have to look at all of their services. Okay, when I was over Israel, the police force was fantastic. They're all armed. They're very professional, males and females. They're very good at what they do. The army's very, very capable. It's a big military. It's got good backing, not just from its from local government, not just from policy. It's got global backing from the States as well. So, you know, in that regard, I think Hezbollah will want to attack anyway, but it's all about their means and capabilities to be able to do so on a scale of which we're seeing with regard Israel. All right, they've literally threw everything bar the kitchen sink at Gaza at this moment in time. Something like that's going to be very, very, very hard to counterattack. Unless you're talking about a fully fledged military, which potentially you might see other countries getting involved. That's when you'll see repercussions. But directly within the place itself, you're going to see violent clashes by the people who are armed. But I don't think you're going to be able to retaliate as much as you'd like to think, based on the sheer scale of the and capability of the Israeli soldiers and military in general, if that makes sense. So Biden announcement. 0327 Biden says we are ready to take further measures after the attacks by Iran-linked groups against American forces. So we spoke about this a few days ago, guys, with regards to the American troops being targeted, military bases within certain areas in the Middle East being targeted, and America literally responded with, okay, we're going to strike the hell out of certain areas. They took a munitions factory out. And I can't remember what the other place was, but they just pretty much came straight back at them, boom, you know, not messing about. And yeah, I think Biden is ready to proceed if need be and engage where need. Okay, Sky News, nothing annotated with that. But look at this, I've just seen that. Jackson Hinkle, the whole world stands with Palestine. You're not really seeing a lot of this on the news, are you? But there's a lot of Palestinian flags. I think it was like 100,000 protests, 500,000 protesting in London the other day. An incredible amount of people. I don't think but this is the problem with people. They sometimes take it that, look at that London Bridge. Incredible amount of people. People are not taking sides for the sake of taking sides. I keep hearing on different channels and even in my chat sometimes people going, taking sides and take a side. It's not about taking sides. I think these people here are just, you know, it's easy to get information now, okay? Other than the mainstream, you can get information anywhere. What people don't like is something similar to what I've been saying. When you're seeing innocent kids on both sides being targeted, that's the bit that gets people. And whether you like it or not, there's been an awful lot more being killed in Palestine right now. Such a condensed area as well, just slaughtered. I've been speaking about certain operations that have been taking place in Palestine, and I'm just trying to use my military understanding to put it into perspective. So it's very hard when you're clearing buildings, okay? When you're going into fighting in a built-up area situation. So houses, streets, into the houses, buildings, at night potentially, okay? But we're not talking about a subpar military. Israel is good at what they do, okay? And the people that are going in and clearing houses are bloody trained well, okay? They know what they're doing. Now, you're talking about milliseconds to make decisions, okay? But those milliseconds have been harnessed through training. Now, when you're clearing through these buildings and you're going to take out a certain target, otherwise it would be pointless conducting this activity. These areas that are being taken are all targeted, all right? They know the information, they've got the int on an individual or a number of individuals. And the people who work for Hamas, obviously you're talking about blokes with beards and certain descriptions. Now, when you're in a house and you're going downstairs and you're raiding this place with your team at night, yes, split seconds, okay? But that split second, you know if it's a child or if it's a man with a yield and a beard with a weapon system, okay? Now, some of the refugee camps that we've seen being taken, there was like out of 12 people who got injured, 4 of which were Israel soldiers, the rest were kids and women. And it's like, well, that doesn't sound right to me. Tactically speaking, you've taken on a small area, and the people that's being killed, injured, or maimed are the ones who, like, you should have had a split second to go, well, that's not the person that we need to take out. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happened. I'm just trying to put my understanding on it. These people, it seems a little bit, how can I put it? It's stupid to say that they're fighting with emotion, because they are. They were attacked by Hamas, okay? A lot of innocent people were slaughtered in Israel. So, yeah, they're fighting with emotion. But professional soldiers storming houses know better than to slot kids and women in the heads. That's what I know, okay? That's the way we was taught. That's the way I was taught. Do you understand? So for me, something just doesn't make sense, and I'm in support of protecting the innocent on both sides. Okay, so that's what I, and I've upset a few people on the channel, and I've spoke about this, and I don't care. That's where I stand. I'm on the I'm against war and all of that crap. Okay, I hate it. I hate the fact that innocents have to die in this. Anyway, Pentagon News 0328. The Pentagon, in a phone call with the Israeli Minister of Defense, Austin stressed that importance of protecting citizens in Gaza. Yeah, we've just been speaking of that. Bulldozer rampage. I think that's near Tel Aviv. Yeah, Tel Aviv, Yefo. Tel Aviv is such a beautiful place, man. I love Tel Aviv. Fantastic. Bulldozer rampage. Don't know why I've titled it that. 3:30, a bulldozer continues to demolish the house of Sheikh Bayish Nakle in Jalazun camp north of Ramallah. Let's see if we've got a picture of this bulldozer going on an absolute rampage. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. Can you see that? Yeah. Bulldozer's going ape on that house.
الله ينتقم منهم بس.
Okay, bulldozer goes crazy. Iran attack US base. Ooh, let's have a look at this. Right, so for reference, in Syria. So about 6 o'clock in the morning, overnight, the Islamic resistance in Iraq, a front for Iranian-backed militias, claimed it carried out an attack against a US base in Al-Tanf in southern Syria. The PMC's, private military contractors in this place, are going to be going through the roof again. I know a couple of guys who worked out there as ex-soldiers, private military contractors, and yeah, they're going to be going through the roof again. They're going to be getting loads of work in this area again, which again spurs the industry on. In security, there's going to be loads of money to be made for people. Intense fighting in southern Gaza. 6:45, Israeli forces are firing intensely east of Khan Yunis and the central governorate of the Gaza Strip. So, intense fighting here. Obviously, the locations are accurate to a certain degree. This is the general idea. Right next to main roads to be able to get troops through, all of that good stuff. But they'll have an area that they want to push through. Israeli spokesperson 064056 Israeli army spokesperson said that the Israeli army expanded and will continue to expand the air and ground operations as well as firing capabilities in the Gaza Strip. The forces are still in the field, continue fighting. Those actions serve all the goal in the ongoing war against Hamas. The Israeli army conducts a continuous assessment of the situation and progresses according to the stages of combat. That's where that information's coming out of, actually. Israeli Air Force attack Hezbollah 0657. So this information, actually, guys, what I am giving you is coming in. I'm doing it in order of events that happened, just to keep it a little bit more concise for you all. Instead of just jumping from place to place, we're actually jumping from information as it comes in to give you a better picture of it. Where are we at here? Where are we here? All right, there. Okay, right next to Lebanon. Israeli Air Force attack Hezbollah. So 6:57, Israeli Air Force attacked a Hezbollah military infrastructure in Lebanon tonight in response to rockets aimed at Israel that fell on Syrian territory. Let's have a look at where we're at. So an Air Force infrastructure right next to an elementary school, that is. I don't know if that's accurate in terms of... Right. Israeli Air Force attacked a Hezbollah military infrastructure. There's nothing in and around here that I can see. We've got a mosque, barbershop, half Hilta. We've got a park and garden. Air Force infrastructure. Can't see anything that resembles it within this area. If any of you guys can, let me know in the comments. But again, that's the only problem with some of these points, guys. I don't see anything Air Force-y in this region. Not even that, no. No, I'm not seeing anything there. But that's the information that's come out. Unless this is... No, that's not it, is it? No, it's definitely not it. 150 Hamas targets struck. Where's this at? There you go. 150 Hamas targets struck 0716, the Israeli army. We struck 150 Hamas underground targets overnight. Underground targets. I'm talking about tunnels and stuff, potentially. Troops, smash that like button. We've got 279 viewers. Welcome to the live stream. If you can smash the likes, let's get 200 likes. It really does help the channel to grow. India stands with Palestine. Jackson Hinkle. Wow, it's the same all over the world, guys. France has banned pro-Palestinian protests. You should always have the right to protest. It's a right. Okay, I think that has been taken away. I mean, safe protest anyway. Massive protests in support of Palestine happen still. That's crazy. The whole world's gone crazy. Heavy clashes right next to the armistice line. 0722 heavy clashes are continuing between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants in the area near Beirut, Hanun, and also reported east of Maghazi in central Gaza. Gunfire, tanks, artillery, and airstrikes audible. Israeli troops repeatedly still in Gaza at this time. So the heavy clashes are happening here right next to this line. I wish I took more photos when I was here, guys. It's a fantastic place. Palestine, we went into Bethlehem, literally turned around, didn't last too long. We got a weird, eerie feeling there, so we got the hell out of there. We drove from Jerusalem, I think it was at the time. Pretty cool place, Israel in general, I'm not going to lie. Strikes. 0822 strikes in Jabalia, Gaza. So these strikes... depending on how central they are, I think it's quite central. Yeah, central. I'm guessing these are going to be airstrikes, guys. Not going to be artillery, these ones, or I could be wrong. So these are targeting areas that I believe are potential. Well, it's all residential, right next to department stores and stuff on Al Shahid Road. These areas, yeah, these areas are going to be taking out key people. These strikes are targeted and coordinated just due to the nature of the land, all right? Very, very condensed area, loads of homes So artillery, although it can be very, very accurate, I believe low-flying airstrikes can be targeted probably is a little easier to save on collateral damage. Got an Indonesian hospital there, right next to this place. So the strikes taking place right here. Schools, hospitals, all of the hospitals in the area, guys, are max capacity now. Really are starting to struggle. They are. United States Navy, what have we got here? 0839 aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower CSG entered the Mediterranean Sea. So I was just about to say right next to the Strait of Gibraltar. Fantastic place, Gibraltar, guys, if you haven't been. When I went to the Middle East, actually, this was our first stop on the rock. Got absolutely shite as drunk and got thrashed up to the top of the Gibraltar rock. Up this way, I think it was, yeah. We got chased by some of them monkeys, which are absolute savages, trying to bite your finger off and stuff like that for food, and then ran back down, spent way too much money in the casino, got back on a boat, and then off we went on our way, sailing. In fact, that was on RFA Limes Bay as well, I believe. Went to all the way along here, into Albania. Then I can't remember how we got into Jordan, but we did. Can't remember that trip. That was a hell of a trip, I tell you. Footage released. This area here. 0843 Israeli Army released footage of forces operating in the Gaza Strip overnight and this morning. Let's see if we can get some of this footage on the go. Right, we've got well over 100 likes, troops. Let's get a 200 likes. If you want to become a member, hit the membership, join up now. I think you can join for less than like a McFlurry, a quid or something. So just do it, troops. What it does is when I put the subscriber only or members only streams, it allows you to chat and interact. Right, we got any footage? Surely. Yeah, we got some footage. IDF released footage of forces operating in Gaza Strip overnight and this morning. Let's see if this bloody thing will work. Hey, Zach here, welcome to Starting Out, brother. Let's get the hype train on the go now. Come on, what's wrong with this? Play. Play, goddammit. I wonder to play, is it? I have to come back to that. Thanks, bro. It's worth it for $1. $1. There you go, man. That's nothing, eh? Nothing. Let's get 1,000. Let's get 1,000 of you guys. Right, that's not work. Oh, here we go. Here we go. What's going on here? Terrible footage, but we've got loads of tanks lined up there, going in via night. That's crazy. Oh my god, gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Irma. I appreciate that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's loads and loads going on here. This is massive. Okay, these things can destroy areas, especially they're getting the rounds down right now, as you can see. There's no sound on this though. Storming the beach. Is that via the beachhead? I think it must be, you know. That's some crazy, crazy stuff right there. Israeli radio, Army radio, the commander of the Hamas naval force who led the attempt to penetrate the Zikim base was killed. That's a very dense area, so this is where that information's coming out of. Whether or not it was here near Al-Kansa Road, we don't know. Jambo says, appreciate the coverage, Ryan. Haven't been here in a minute, but I enjoy your work. Thank you. Stevie C was gifted a membership by Emma Gerd. Thank you, Stevie. And thank you, Irma. Appreciate it, man. Let's get some more members in, guys. Right, nothing on that. So we've got 1 main key player, commander, taken out. So they've got the information on these guys. Hamas commander dead. 9 o'clock this morning, Israeli army says it killed the commander of Hamas naval forces of the Gaza City Brigade, Rateb Abu Sahiban, in an overnight airstrike. Oh, so it wasn't even the tanks that got him. It was an airstrike that got this guy. Abdul Rahim Mahoud Road. So they know where these guys are. Israel army families have been notified. Israeli army informing the families of 311 soldiers of their deaths. So this is a report that's come out by the Israeli army. There's over 300 Israeli soldiers being killed as a result of this. I don't know if it's the ground operation, but I can only suspect it is the ground operation, which is like a lot of deaths in a very short amount of time, guys, okay? You see the difference in how well built up this area is in comparison to Palestine and Gaza. It's crazy. So those family members are going to be, they're going to be pretty sad, guys, okay? It goes without saying. That's a horrific thing to be notified of. But that's the cost of war, isn't it? Ground incursion at 9 o'clock, 10 past 9. The Israeli army, the ground incursion into Gaza continues and began from 3 axes. So I'm gathering the main 3 areas, 3 directions. So let's have a look at this. That's the armistice line north point. So you've only really got a few places that you would... There's only really 3 main areas that you would go from, really. It's not the south border near the Rafah crossing, because obviously that's Egypt, okay? So effectively, you've only got from the west, and that's a big old potential frontline invasion point. But key points from there, there'll be weaknesses and areas specifically that they want to target through, potentially straight into Gaza Central. So that's one area direction. You've got the north point, which makes perfect sense, and you've got all of these different areas from the sea. If you don't utilize this with the massive naval capability that they have, then it's stupid. So definitely, we've already seen this area being utilized militarily, tactically. It's a humongous area, wide open, guys. You see all the way down the length of this area. So, in fact, let's measure this roughly. Like 40 kilometers worth of area troops. Massive area. 6-Day Blue. Hey, buddy. You're saying Ryan gave up his Christmas for peace in the world. Let's all buy this man, leader, legend a pint. If the least we can do. Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the super chat. I can't remember how many. I'm trying to think of how many times I was away over Christmas. I don't think it was that much, actually. Once, twice. I'm trying to think. I actually give up more Christmases in preparation for the Marines, believe it or not. I used to be, and when I was a young lad boxing, I would be over the track and stuff running, but definitely nothing really serious. I know there's lads who served in the Marines who were quite literally at war, fighting on Christmas Day. That wasn't me, thankfully, and I say that thankfully now. As you get older, you get a bit softer, don't you? But yeah, I'm trying to think the last time I was away over Christmas. Probably been away more at Christmas working as a civilian, to be honest with you, mate. But that's, dry your eyes, mate, type thing, get the violins out. I appreciate that super chat, brother. Thank you very much for that. Right, where are we at, actually? Aid trucks. This is the one I wanted to get into earlier. 10 past 9. Israeli army spokesman. We will send trucks loaded with food, water, and medicine to Gaza today, right after they've obliterated it. So, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's a good thing. It can only be a good thing, sending those aid trucks. Sky News again. Israeli army spokesperson, sending aid. Jackson Hindle keeps on popping up on my feed. explosion. 9:37 explosions were heard in northern Israel. A trail was seen in the skies near Lake Kinneret. Let's have a look at this area. So explosions within this northern Israel. A trail was seen in the skies. So rocket attack of some sort, believe it. Right, what are we at here? Some kind of industrial place, potentially. Is that a military? Oh, it's a prison. I was going to say it looks like a military base, but the thing is with military bases and prisons, they look pretty similar. And in fact, they are pretty similar, especially when you're a recruit in training. You're locked down, do as you're told, and that's it. Well, I reckon some prisoners, good prisoners, would make good soldiers. They say bad lads make good soldiers. I don't know if you've heard that term before. Hinkle is a pro-Russian propagandist. Ah, thank you. Right, what we at here? So this area is ATV North Galilee territory. Ah, so Sea of Galilee will be around here somewhere. Where's the Sea of Galilee? That's an awesome... There we go. Sea of Galilee troops, unbelievable place this. Sasista National Park, been there. I think it was in and around this area actually. Yeah, Ingrave Beach, beautiful place actually. The Sea of Galilee is a really, really nice place, guys. That's why I wanted to go back to Israel, but after what's gone on, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can. Dead Sea, been to both sides of it, another amazing place. Also, someone correct me if I'm wrong. The lowest place on Earth, so Everest, highest place, I believe the Dead Sea is the lowest place on the Earth. Hence, loads of salt deposits there and stuff like that. You can literally float on the water, which is where I believe the story from Jesus was, I don't want to say created, but probably is elaborated on. You know, you can pretty much swim on top of that that sea there. It's weird, actually. It hurts as well. There's that much salt content in it. But we digress. Missiles launched. Israeli army confirmed that a surface-to-air missile launched from Lebanon towards an Israeli army jet. The missile missed and was shot down over northern Israel. Israeli army is retaliating towards the source of the missile fire in Lebanon. So, yeah, they're hard on it, guys. Clashes between Al-Qassam and Israeli army. The Al-Qassam brigades bombard Israeli troops gathered at the Ezri site with mortar shells. So in around here, troops gathered. You can see quite an open bit of land. Very, very open, actually. Right next to that armistice agreement line. So this is possibly an area where they've moved in from. So they've gathered up here like a formal point for their troops. And obviously, intelligence is getting out, so they've started smashing these positions with mortar bombs. That's probably where a lot of the injuries have came from, actually, or a lot of those deaths that we was talking about. Spokesperson was talking about a while back. Is really actually no, where we at? Artillery shells. What's happening here? Artillery shelling. Israeli artillery shelling on Nakora. Might have a video of this. Nope. Okay. What do you think of the new map anyway, troops? What do we think of the new map? It's a bit better, isn't it, than what we've been used to? Siren sounding 1241 and the Arab al-Armsh on the Lebanon border. So this is within the UN 2000 blue line. Old school is saying Jesus didn't even exist. Well, I'm a confirmed Roman Catholic, born and bred, but I'm not particularly aligned with any religion now. I live in a multicultural family. My wife's Hindu. You know, I've been all over the world, seeing religion for what it is, and you know, fair play to you. But I've got my opinions on it. But one thing I will say, despite possibly not really believing too much in Catholicism anymore, there's a lot of literature out there with professionals and non-religious professionals stating that although it's debated whether or not he was the son of Christ in a religious sense. They pretty much, prove that a man called Jesus did exist somewhere. Whether he was what he said he was is up for discussion, but the literature, is pretty solid on the fact that he probably did exist. He probably did exist. But anyway, that's a slightly different topic. Do a Jesus stream if you want. Hamas announcement. 12:52. Hamas announces the bombing of Israeli army vehicles that penetrated west of Beit Leah in the Gaza Strip. So these army vehicles, this is within the armistice agreement line, right next to that former point, actually, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, not too far away, actually. About, let's get a measurement tool out quickly, about 6 kilometers away. So not too far from that, we've seen these trucks. So there's been resistance back from, there's been resistance back and forth. It hasn't just been one way entirely, all right? Israeli forces have came up against opposition in some places stronger than others, and yeah. Anyway, let's get some questions going, troops. Let's get some firing some questions away. But I need to shave my head, shave my beard. Right, that flag actually, Delta Company flag, Delta Company 40 Commander doesn't exist anymore. I believe is decommissioned the right term, but it's no longer in existence. So I was one of the last ever troops or Marines, one of the last lads to be part of Delta Company, and trust me, I didn't steal this, but I came back from, I can't remember where it was, the States, and this was in my suitcase. So I don't know if someone tried to have me over, pinged me with it, or tried to get rid of the fact that they stole it or whatever. But this was in my bag, and I opened it up and says, "What the hell is this doing here?" Like an original Delta Company flag. I was showing my mates and bloody hell, what have you done with that? I was like, I didn't do anything with it. It was in my bag. So someone's framed me. But I was that petrified to go hand it in case they were like, you've bloody stolen the flag of Delta Company. I was like, well, I'm just not going to say anything. If anyone mentions anything about it, then I'll be like, yeah, I've got it. I don't know how it got there, genuinely. But nothing was said on the matter, so I thought, I'm just going to keep it then. Probably, yeah, but that is proper history, that thing there. Any questions? Yeah. Hey Scooter, how you doing? Hey Stevie C, got some members in the chat, troops. If you want to become a member, please consider pressing the join button. Become a member. You can become a member for $1. I've literally dropped it, one of the perks. You can become a member for higher with different provisions, but it's literally $1, I believe. So get the members in if you want to be part of the channel in a more interactive way. We are looking for some more moderators as well in the chat. So if we've got any good people that want to moderate the chat, that would help out. Oh my god, thanks for the update. Hey, no problem. I think we've got a few more points to go through anyway. Well, quite a few points, to be fair. Hey Scooter, welcome to Start Now, brother. Appreciate it. Can we get 200 likes, troops? Smash that like button. Everyone's saying the map's looking good. Yeah, so the map's a bit better now. I like the way we're doing things. Martin members, how do you feel about the possibility of tunnel warfare in Gaza? Horrendous. I mean, if you look at the history of tunnel warfare, the tunnel rats of Vietnam and stuff. I mean, Vietnam was different just off the nature of being in the jungle. Horrendous snakes, scorpions. The methods that the Viet Cong used to kill the Americans was horrendous. So yeah, it's not good. But within this dry, arid environment, I can only imagine it's going to be horrendous as well, and equally as scary. So tunnel warfare. I'm glad I'm not there. Put it that way, you know. So yeah, troops. any more questions, let's start getting some quizzes out. What I said, yeah, so make sure you like the video if you're still here. Let's get over 200. Oh, we got over 200. Let's get to 300 now. Share this content on Telegrams, on social media and stuff. The share button really is one of the best things you can do. If you want to support the stream, there's 3 ways you can do it, but 2 ways directly. That helps me. You can become a member. I've put like the lowest price possible. I think it's $1. If someone can confirm that for me, Stevie C, I think it's $1. That helps me out. Or you can super chat questions to me, which is probably the best way for highlighting, not only interacting, but it highlights the questions, and as a result it supports the channel, guys. So if you want to do that, that would be greatly appreciated. And I've run out of water. Believe it or not, I'm in the garage here. You can't see on here, but I'm actually in the garage. So here is a garage roller. I need to get a window and door in here so I can literally go to the toilet and get a drink and stuff without having to go outside of my own house to go back in. Right, let's get back into it. Boom. Where were we? Targeting Al-Abad site. 1256 targeting Israeli Al-Abad site opposite the town of Hula with guided missiles. So let's have a look at this area. Al-Abad site. Can't really see anything in particular. Just north of that, there was an incoming rocket siren sounding within that area. And rockets fired from Lebanon. The Israel Defense Force, following the initial report regarding sirens that sounded in Margalot in northern Israel, 3 rockets launched from Lebanon towards Israel landed in open areas. In response to the launches over the past day, the IDF is currently striking Hezbollah terror targets in Lebanon. So this is the border we're talking about here, guys. UN 2000 borderline. Don't know what that looks like on the ground. I don't think it's a wall as such. But there's this shit coming from that side. Israel Prime Minister press conference. He says the Israeli army is totally committed to protecting our country after the atrocities. The mission is to defeat the enemy and make our future safe in our country. I think they could do it a bit better, though. I think they've really went hard at it. And haven't even started yet, if you think about it. The amount of deaths that's going to happen is crazy. I don't know. Bradley, thank you for the super chat, my friend. You're saying, what do you think of Fury versus Ngannou? I know it's slightly off topic, but with super chats, we can go off topic slightly. Don't worry, we get back into it. Oh, I genuinely believed that. Now, I'm not just saying this. There was 2 surprises. How good Ngannou was and how bad Fury performed. The fact that Ngannou performed way better than most people thought he would, that kind of overshadowed the fact that Fury performed terribly. So automatically Fury's terrible in everyone's eyes and Ngannou is the new king, so to speak. But there's 2 main points. He overperformed and Fury underperformed massively, equaling that. But this is another point that I need to make. People going, it was his first ever time, blah, blah, blah. Listen, we're talking about an absolute animal Sorry, guys, muted. So I'm not surprised that Ngannou did well. He's a combat professional, so he should be doing well. Fury underperformed, he overperformed. And overall, didn't really like the fight, to be fair. Ranting, no one can hear. Yeah. But, yeah. Like if you think about me, you're a professional Marine moving over to the Paras. You're going to perform pretty well. People are going to be shocked. Wow, how is he performing well? Well, you're a professional fighting soldier. So it translates over. Ngannou, professional fighting man, translated over to boxing better than people thought. But he fought Fury. I think Fury was terrible. He underperformed. And it's as simple as that. I think in a rematch, if Fury comes back how he was against Wilder the second and third time, yeah, he doesn't last very long, in my opinion. But great fight. I still had Fury winning by one round. It was very, very close. And that's boxing, man. But anyway, thanks for your super chat. Back to this. Netanyahu, our partners in the Arab world know they will be next in line for the axis of evil. Not too sure what he means by that. His goal is to eliminate Hamas. And they're certainly going about it right now. He also says this is our second war of independence. Al-Qassam Brigade fired a rocket barrage. This is right next to Tel Aviv. Al-Qassam Brigade fired a rocket barrage at Tel Aviv city during a speech by the Israeli Prime Minister and other ministers in the city. Sirens activated at central Israel cities. Wow. This is a place that I'm quite familiar with, actually. It's crazy to think. I say quite familiar with. I've been here. I know the area. I know the beaches. I'm pretty sure I've been there, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been there. So yeah, yeah, this bit here. Anyway, yeah, I understand this area. So to think of this place coming under like attack, it's crazy. The UAE condemns the Israeli ground operation. You're going to see this a lot in the Arab states, guys. I am more on the side of what they're saying. I'm not gonna say otherwise. I'm more on the side of against the ground invasion. Put it that way. Military is slowly ramping up ground operations. This is about 8 o'clock. About an hour ago. Ground operations in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli army is gradually expanding its ground operations in Gaza and the scope of its forces. So I'm guessing as time goes by, as more key individuals are taken out, and quite literally Hamas sees just the scale of how many troops are on the ground within these areas, it's going to change an awful lot, guys, all right? This area is flowing with troops right now. Israeli army says it struck a Hezbollah compound. Israeli army said struck a Hezbollah compound and a number of observation posts in southern Lebanon in response to the rocket and missiles attack today. Speaker of the Lebanese parliament, Nabi Berri, hosts the Hamas delegation in Beirut, headed by the number 2 in Hamas, Saleh al-Arawi. Wow. Surprised that wasn't a target. Clashes between Israeli forces. Witness to clashes between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants east of Beit Hanun. Navigurd says, how will they fight ground with all the rat tunnels? Well, this is the thing. I think a lot of these rat tunnels are going to have to be targeted, taken out of commission, so to speak. Whether that's through mortars, bombs, explosives, take them out of commission at a point of entry and a point of exit, then they're not really useful anymore, and the people inside are certainly not going to be, you're not going to worry about them that way, are you? If you know where the entry and exit points are, or just points on these tunnels, then instead of going in them, just clear them out with destroying the entrances and making them, pretty much stuck to get out or to get in. That's what I would do. I would just render them useless and take them out of work and order, if that makes sense. That's what I would do. But what do I know? I'm not like a massive military strategist or anything. Intense tank fire and airstrikes happening along this border again. Intense fire and airstrikes along the border, heavier than last night at certain times. If we've got a video of this, possibly. Nope. British man throws a Palestinian flag down from a historical monument while telling anti-Israel. He should get down off that monument. I hate when people are on monuments, these great monuments in Britain. It's just pure ignorance. There's better ways to get your point across. An Israeli plane attacked with a missile one of the empty points. Abd al-Abad site carry out a massive sweeping campaign with machine guns, bombs, mortar shells and phosphorus shells in its surroundings, all the way to Al-Manara colony. Wow. Okay, so there's Al-Manara Lodge. Where is the colony? Rashif Ashi Tomb, I don't know where that is. Hassan Cell, it's an electronic shop. So it's right next to the 2000 blue line. Here we go. I think this must be it. Israeli army shooting from Lebanon at an Israeli army observation post. Okay, so this is potentially military. The reason I'm thinking it potentially military, the way it kind of looks, not a massive area. One road in to this point, which is potentially, I don't know for sure, but if it was a military base, it would make sense that this is a little outpost for like a QRF, a quick reaction force or some sort. Why? Because it's ahead of the main base, only one route in, and the other route into this area, single route in as well. It's got scope for it to be somewhat of a military base, I suppose. Yeah, potentially. Where is this? Shooting, okay. Ground incursion expansion. The Israeli army, we are gradually expanding. Yeah, we've done that. Evacuation threats. Okay, so the Palestinian Red Crescent, we received threats from the Israeli army to immediately evacuate Al-Quds Hospital in the Gaza Strip. Hospitals are stretched to an unbelievable degree, guys. I've just realised how I muted my mic as well by pressing it on there. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu apologised for his tweet yesterday in which he criticised the heads of security services. Ooh, let me see what this is. I haven't seen that tweet. That's not going to show it either. Damn it. Forces destroy home. Overnight, Israeli armed forces demolished the home of Hassan Katnani, one of the Hamas militants who carried out the family in April. Ooh, so we got a bit of revenge killing here. In the West Bank, Akko's refugee camp, troops also detained 23 wanted Palestinians across the West Bank, including 4 affiliated with Hamas. Okay, so this is a bit of a stronghold area here, surrounded by fields and stuff like that. Hamas movement. This looks like the south area where we saw the... is this the south area? No, it's not. It looks very similar to Al-Mawasi, that. It's a beachhead, though, so... announced that is targeting a gathering of Israeli army vehicles penetrating northwest of Bet Leah with a drone. So Hamas movement are actually responding to these areas. I believe this is where the tanks must have started operating from, but Hamas have responded with drones, apparently. And all of these points are untitled, so there's no point in going through. In fact, shall we go through 1 or 2? Yeah, I've been through that. So that's what we've got today, troops. I was just trying this out. I think it's working well with regard to the information that I can get. Every single day, I can get loads of information like this. So I'm going to start doing the Ukraine war updates as well on that. What I am going to do, though, is figure out a way, which I've pretty much got sorted, of how to get more footage to annotate most of these points as well. If you guys like to see these points with or without videos or anything like that, let me know right now, because if you want to see more video footage and stuff like that pertaining to these actual titles and points, let me know now if you do or if you don't. If you do, I'll bang them in for you. Okay, let me know. 4 new members, guys. Thank you for all of the memberships. It's only $1 to join, guys. $1 a month. I mean, yeah, if you want to join, that's literally, it's all it's going to cost you. So just press that join button if you're watching on your phone, or the link in the description. I'd be very grateful if we get some members in. Strike Force absolutely want to see the videos. Okay, yeah. Jambo, thank you, Ryan, for the coverage. Much love from the US. Love your vids for over a year now. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Brandon Wayne, what website is that? I'm using Google Maps effectively, but I'm doing my own map. I'm doing with my own information on stuff like that. Blade Beats Bets, I watch your videos. How I found your channel, so definitely keep up. Thank you. Guy L says, Ryan, have you seen the Israeli planned mob in Dagestan after the Jews? No, I haven't. Dope Boy Tripping. Yeah, the videos are great. Thank you for covering. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I might start doing, I'm definitely going to do Ukraine stuff as well. Josh Ryan, video is great, but you don't need it to carry out your content either. Awesome job as always. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. 6 Day Blue, thank you for the 5, brother. You've been quite a donator today. I appreciate that. Super Chat says, what would you do a Ukraine live? Many of us look at the daily news and would value your input. You know something? I'm not just saying this. Right? I'm not going to say I did it better than anyone else, because I didn't. But I was one of the first people to do Ukraine updates. That's why I got, boom, so many views. And I can't remember the reason, but it was quite pertinent. I stopped doing those updates. I can't remember what it was, but I stopped doing them. But trust us when I say I was one of the first to do the Ukraine updates, and then everyone jumped on it. So that's one of my biggest regrets, of thinking, why didn't I just stay with it? So although I'm a day or two behind the mark with this, that's why I jumped on this a little bit quicker, because I was like, well, I was the original guy doing all of this stuff, okay? So yeah, I'm getting back into this full time. That's it. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I appreciate your super chat, Blue. I mean, those help out a lot more than you'd think. So thank you, brother. Thank you. Jambo, welcome to starting out. I knew you were going to join, Jambo. Jambo. I was like Rambo. Welcome, brother. I appreciate it. Anyone else want to join? You can also donate. Not that you have to, actually, but it is an option now to donate members to people if you so freely want to. Kimmy Larson says, yeah, the Dagestan story is crazy. I'm going to have a look at that. Flowmaster, been watching you, US Marine Corps vet. Thank you for your service, Flowmaster. I appreciate your service, man. Dope boy, thank you for your service. Hey, thank you, man. Plumpy, hello Ryan, nice channel. What is your view upon Erdogan's rhetoric towards Israel and his support for Hamas? Turkey is a NATO member after all. I haven't, I need to see what he says. I haven't, give me a bit of context. Ukraine has hit a stage of war where not too much is happening, prepping for the winter, I'm guessing. Yeah, same as last year then, isn't it? Same story as last year. I kind of lost... When I stayed out of the updates for that long, I kind of lost track of where I was at. So that's another problem as well with that. What are the chances of World War III in the next 10 years? I think strong chance. This is the thing, what you've got to understand, Blazed. When World War I happened, people didn't know they were in World War I. It wasn't called World War I, it was happening. Richie knows. And the same for World War II. People weren't walking around going, oh, we're in World War II now. And it's going to be the same thing for this. People aren't going to be like, oh, this is World War III we're currently in. It's just going to be a series of events that take place all together over a period of time where in 20, 30 years' time, we will then look back and the history will write it as World War III. So we could bloody well be living in it right now and not even knowing it. It'll be something for the history books to go, well, that was actually, that was what World War III was. Do you understand? So nobody knows they're living in it until 20, 30 years after, when it's decided that the powers that be want to classify that as it. Does that make sense? Hey, Flowmaster 5001, welcome to Starting Out. Thank you for joining, mate. I appreciate the members. Right, and troops, if we haven't got any more. We have got more. KCB, thank you for your super chat, buddy. Bring back Trump. I do like Trump. It's difficult because I think no matter who you vote, not the same. I truly don't think it matters really who's in power. Powers that be will have it their way. But I did prefer him to Sleepy Joe. Lost actually quite a few subscribers because people got really upset that I said Sleepy Joe. How dare you? Have some respect for our president. Hey, he's not my president. And he does like to sleep on live TV with millions of people watching, getting his head down. So, yeah, Sleepy Joe, man. You know what I mean? The guy can't even string a sentence together. So you can't get upset with that. But I get it. It's like the grandpa kind of thing, isn't it? Don't you say that about my grandpa. Hey, Carl Riggs, your first super chat, bro. Thank you for that. Thank you for your super chat. Make sure you get a question in there so we can respond to that. I appreciate you and your super chat. Awesome, dude. I'm going to like that. Boom. Oh, I can't do that. I need to sign out. Damn it. Oh, I can't see the chats anymore. Oh, damn. Just close the dot hole window if you like to show it again. Use the dot menu. Okay. Right, so I've bloody took my chat off, haven't I? Here we go. Back in. Hey, Toy Blocks. Welcome to Starting Out. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. We've got loads of members coming in, actually. 7 new members. Let's get to 10 and we'll call it a day. Flowmaster and Wander Off and Have to Be Kind. Yeah, that's what I mean. I actually think he's a funny dude. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's funny watching him. But you guys probably have your own gripes about our Prime Minister. The fact that he's potentially like nearly a billionaire, telling us how to live and spend our money. It's kind of, but I get it. He's in place to create policies and support businesses that make the wealthier wealthy. That's what he's there for. It's why he's in power. So it's how politics work, isn't it, really? Jambo, don't forget the hair sniffs. He loves to sniff hair, doesn't he? Yeah. He loves to sniff hair. Sleepy. Sleepy Joe the hair sniffer. Oh, that's funny, man. Hey, 6-Day Blue, welcome to Starting Out, man. Good to have you here as a member, guys. The more members we get, I think we'll start doing some members-only streams. That's why I made it cheap. Joe likes hair, Cougar Town. He does, man. It's a bit weird, though, isn't he? Old. Oh, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Hey, Carl Riggs, thank you for the super chat, bro. Cougar Town ice cream is just amazing. I don't understand that. Knox says, I remember from a general saying that no matter who's the president, the bureaucrats will make the decisions. Don't get exactly, and you have to look at it that way. Tracy Turner, Ryan, are you from Yorkshire? No, I'm from Sunderland. My accent's changed quite a bit over the past 10 years. It's getting back to its northern roots. Hey, Stanimus is here. Stanimus is right. Tell you something about Stanimus. This guy. If you do, listen, I'm not even gonna. You know Stanimus, all right? Everyone knows Stanimus. I strive to be like Stanimus. Actually, he is phenomenal, and I'm not just saying it. An absolutely phenomenal YouTuber. And he's offered me some of the best, well, the best advice, period, with regards to YouTube and YouTube Shorts. I really need to start putting it back into practice again. He is phenomenal. By the off chance that you haven't, he's also a former Marine as well. So, right on. Legend. How are you doing, Stanimus, anyway? You doing all right, man? Let's jump on a call sometime. I know you're absolutely the busiest YouTuber on the planet. Legend. This guy gets like 50 million views a minute or something, or 50 million views an hour. It's like, it's ridiculous what this guy's getting. He's making $300 million a year. 60, hey, gifted a membership. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Gael is now a member. You're saying, watching, they've smashed the airport open, hunting. That is crazy. Senpai? Who's Senpai? Stans is good. Senpai Pie. No one's Stanimus, that's not a typo. Semper Pi. What? Who's short? YouTube showed a Pokemon advert. Wow, they're really struggling with my channel, aren't they? They're really struggling, man. Let's bang a Pokemon advert on his channel. That's ridiculous. God, not even like airsoft guns or anything like that. They're showing Pokemon. Saying that, Pokemon's big, isn't it? Next it'll be like a Roblox advert. Semper Pi, Stanimus. Semper Pi. Carl Riggs, can you discuss your thoughts on the Israeli-Hamas conflict, just so you know that I'm a Christian in support of the Holy Land? Well, Carl Riggs, just basically, not to be insulting or anything, if you go back like an hour and a half, start the stream, we talk for about an hour and 20 minutes, predominantly on just that question, mate. So you're better off just rewinding, if I'm honest with you, and all of those will be answered, if that makes sense. Not to be funny either, that's me being honest. And you are a Christian in support of the Holy Land. So I'm born a Christian. Wouldn't really say I am one now. And actually, when I went to the Holy Lands, I went to every biblical site you could think of. I don't know why this happened. I went to Jerusalem, Nazareth, the Sea of Galilee, the Dead Sea, the Red Sea, everywhere. I went everywhere. Bethlehem, you name it. And I actually came back from that trip a non-believer. Yeah. And I was happy about it. Bearing in mind, I'd been brought up, I don't know. It was people sometimes have life-changing things that happen to them the opposite way. They get faith somewhere. I actually came back from there without it. But happier for it. Weird. Stanham says, I'm in support of life. However, we can get people to stop dying is what I'm about. That's what I'm on about, Stanimus. That's all I'm for. You wouldn't believe the amount of shit emails and DMs I get saying, how dare you not support Israel? It's like, listen, man, screw that shit. I'm about the amount of deaths, and I'm a numbers guy. The numbers on the left supersede the numbers on the right, and it's like, well, that's wrong, so it's not proportionate. But you know something? You've been there, you've done it. Listen, Stanimus is a Iraq veteran. Right, been there, done it, done. He's part of the best of us. Okay, He knows this shit. He understands war, seen it, lived it, breathed it, suffered the consequences of that shit as a young man. And that's his point. And I'm all for that same point. And I've been saying that all along. That's it. That's just it. Stanley says, good for you, man. Believe or don't believe what you want. Glad you are happy about where you're at. Yeah, I am. I'm happy. I mean, I'm still, I don't know. I'm open to stuff. Every time I went to the Middle East, believe it or not, Stanley, I don't know. I kind of liked, I like a large portion of the way they are, the way they live with the families and stuff like that. They're all for family. So going around the world and seeing how the other side live definitely helped me out a bit. Yeah. So, I don't know. Jambos, I concur. 6-Day Blue, come on, folks. Our very own Hard as Nails, right? Thank you, 6-Day. As a believing God, I'd rather speak to a non-believer than a scorned believer. Ah, there you go. Yeah, there's plenty of those. Stannis, culture shock for sure. Expand your mind. Yeah. Being the stereotypical children with, the big bellies, starving for food, who was in Africa, wasn't expecting to see it actually, and I was like, bloody hell. One of the biggest mind, I was like, at the end of that trip, there was a couple of kids, and Gabon's not really extremely poor. It's French ran, there's poverty there. There's a lot of wealth as well. It was in the jungle, and I've seen these kids at the very end of when we were in the jungle. About 2 or 3 kids came over, had no clothes and nothing on, bellies obviously starving and stuff. And we had the shit that we weren't going to eat, we're chucking away, like salt sachets and just crap, right? We were like, not eating that crap. Bear in mind, we were hungry as hell because we were in the jungle. These kids came running over, and we get like lads giving them like salt sachets and bits of peanut butter and stuff like that. And I've never seen kids as happy in my life. Some of the lads were laughing, but I was like trying to hold back a couple of tears. I get a bit emotional thinking about it now. I was like, wow. And we like turn our noses up to a good meal in England. Like, I'm not eating that. It's like, man, we ain't got a clue at the bollocks that goes on around the world. That's why I'm fat now. I'll eat anything. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, Stannis. Anyway, troops, that's it for me. If you've just tuned in, thank you. Smash the like button. 9 new members, thank you for that. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, if you want to get back into the stream, just rewind it or watch it back. And there's about 50 points we've read through today, so that's it. Stannis, take it easy, brother. Hopefully speak to you soon. Troops, thanks for tuning in. We will be doing this every day. I'll see you next time.